Hey guys, Matt, Kobe, welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we're out in Michigan chasing river smallmouth. Come along, we're gonna have some fun.
Take it.
It's okay, this is fun.
This fish on the face away from
Oh, yeah.
right there. Here it comes. Got it. That was perfect, dude. He saw you and was like, oh yeah. He saw that jig. He's like, oh, look at this guy. I'm gonna get my tube quick before I tie a jig on it. We're about to get mowed. Look at that. Oh, there it is. These are solid fish.
So we're actually in a tributary off of Lake Michigan. We started the day out on the big water. Caught a handful of fish, but just were not finding the fish that we expected. So we decided to head up a tributary, up a creek, out of the big lake. And we've discovered that there are fish up here in these shallow pockets in every stage. There are fish up here that are spawning. There are fish up here that are just on current seams, laid down logs, rocks that are just feeding. And then we're seeing fish way back in these little channels just roaming and feeding. They're getting up out of the current, up in this flooded grass, because Lake Michigan is really high this year, just back in the grass chasing too. I suspect we might even be able to get on a topwater bite in here. But essentially what we're doing is we're working upstream. All the fish are facing the current, making blind casts to cover, plucking fish off, and then if we see a spawner, we're catching them as well. It's June here, so you've still got fish in every stage. There are fish that are done, fish that are actively spawning, and fish that aren't even close to starting yet.
This guy saw me adjust my worm into wacky worm. There he goes. Got it that time. I just look at wacky, dude. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Oh, don't lose.
5 pound.
These fish are strong.
Super strong.
I swear they've never seen a hook. They're violent.
They're very angry. There she is. It's a nice one.
Nice fish.
Thank you, sir. She's sitting under a log just off to the side of the creek. Hiding out. It's a beautiful one.
That's a pretty fish. Looks like something bitter.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah. It's got
Early in life.
Early on. A musky bite. That's cool. Good way to start. We'll get her back home.
Came off that little edge right there. You go back in there? Yeah, he's there. Try and jig him. Right up there. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god. The best jig bite ever. Yeah. Yeah.
That fish followed a popper out of that little side cut. Turned around, went right back up there. Fired a little finesse jig in, and it wasted no time. It came out and smashed it. Sound screwhead?
Not Not a very big one, but she ate the screw head. We saw her cruising right up on the side of the bank right there.
Jig up under that tree. Got him. Going up this edge, just skipping the jig. Back up under the laydowns and up under the trees. Using a little finesse jig. It's a ball head, but with a Smalley beaver trailer on there, I'm able to skip it extremely well. Because it is a finesse jig with a lighter wire hook, I'm able to get away with lighter line. I'm using 12-pound fluoro, and I could probably get away with 8 to 10-pound fluoro. Throwing it on a 610 medium. It's actually my jerkbait rod, so it's a great second use for that rod. Able to pluck these fish out. I'm weedless. It's not like trying to throw a tube, which you would typically throw in current, but in here with these laydowns, you can't really get away with that. So I get jig profile, the weedlessness of a jig, but I can still set on light line and light equipment, so I'm getting the bites.
There he is. Dude, he swam all the way up there to eat it off the bank.
That's awesome.
Spotted that fish push a couple minnows just up on the top. So we turned around and pitched up there, and she swam right over and ate it. Had a little rubber worm on there, which is no longer there. I think I've got a couple right down here. Little 4-inch straight tail. How about that one, dude? Underneath that log. Comes up and eats it on this fall down.
Wow.
I saw her sticking her head out underneath that lay down right there on that bed.
That's cool.
She like sees it coming down and just goes.
Nice fish.
Pretty one. Got another one. Spotted her sticking her head out from a lay down underneath over here on the side of the bank and pitched in with that little rubber worm. She came up and greeted it halfway down. Just like that. You a snake. Yeah. There she goes. Look at that. Dude. Wow. This is cool. These fish actually bite.
Little half shell on a drop shot. Got me tied up in knots. I didn't even hear it. I got murdered. My popper was gone when I looked up. Nice fish. Really nice fish. Look at the one with her.
It's a pretty one. So I will admit, that fish came up after Matt's bait and missed it. And so when Matt moved on and started casting in another spot, I flicked in behind him, back in by the rock that we saw her come up from, and she came up and ate that little rover worm. So I gotta give Matt credit on this one. Thanks, Matt.
Those couple of bites there were both bigger fish. Made me question going up back on his cut.
That's what I'm wondering too. I was just...
Nice. Oh, slow.
Got him. Slow rolling. A little dark sleeper. Just off the bank. In came this cat. Chewed it. Oh, there she is. Nice one, dude. Net?
No, it's alright.
Pretty fish, dude. That's a pretty fish. Nice work.
Got her on that nose hooked fluke. Beautiful smallmouth. We joke about that banjo minnow rig, but it works. Oh, hello, hello.
bite.
That was vicious.
That one's awesome. Punched it. Fish literally punched.
Man, this river fishing is so much fun. Catching them on drop shot, tube, jig. What am I missing? Fluke, topwater, screwhead swim bait. Had a couple bites on a glide bait. These fish are brutal. We're setting up, as we're coming upstream, these fish sit and they look upriver. So by fishing upstream, we're kind of creeping up on them. Some of the fish we see, because they're looking the other way, we see them and then we could throw a bait ahead and come down to them. And then others were just pitching up in the shadows and pulling them out. The fish today, most of them are sitting in behind logs or behind rocks. They're in the current breaks and they're jumping out to ambush. Other days when these fish are really aggressive, they'll get up on top or even out in front of little islands or laydowns. They'll get on the front end and be really, really aggressive. But most of the time they hang right behind the cover. You can pitch into the holes, the pockets, and pull these fish right out.
Got one on the waiver. How cool is that? Had a big one miss it a little bit ago, and then kind of stuck with it and flung it along back here in this little creek. He's not a giant, but it's still pretty cool to watch him come up and smack it like that. Look at that. It's a third of his size, half his size. Good stuff.
Got him.
Got him.
Nice. T-bone. This guy is angry.
Vision 110. Found a little current break, twitched it outside the edge of it. It's a big pile of logs. She came out and smacked it. That was cool. Cruising by a little seawall here. Had him stop and make an extra couple casts. Caught another one on the 110. He was out offside the edge of it. They often use them as a good ambush point for a lot of forage and different types of bait fish. So it's a great opportunity to catch a nice healthy river fish.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. You know, we get a lot of questions about fishing in current, how fish position, how to target them. Since we had the opportunity to present itself today, I thought it would be fun to get up here in this creek with Kobe and just catch some of these fish. As you can see, they can be caught a lot of different ways. I mean, we caught them on everything we threw. You can throw a jig in a tube and slow fish bottom. You can take a drop shot, target specific key pieces of structure. You can reaction fish. You can go for that surface bite. These current fish are very aggressive because they position upstream and they don't see you coming. So if you're stealthy and you move slowly, there are a lot of opportunities for you to catch fish, and it's a lot of fun. So if you live around a waterway that's got fish up in fast moving water, don't be afraid of that fast moving water. Go out there, give it a try. You can have a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Like every video, we'll link all the gear down in the video description. We'll link you Kobe's Instagram as well if you want to follow him, see some of his adventures. Thanks again for coming along, and we'll talk to you soon.